Well, this is the largest one I think I'll put together for this video series so far. This is my old boss, Chuck Hunt, from my days working at Reenie's Supermarket up until 1994. We are in a parking lot of McDonald's somewhere out near Toledo, Ohio. He's doing a practice run for photographing an annular eclipse. Now, an annular eclipse doesn't cover the entire sun. It covers a thin ring around the edge of the moon. And on this particular day, there was a partial eclipse out towards Toledo way, and he wanted to give a test run of his equipment, his setup. And I was working nights at the time, you know, I was doing Wainstead all night and whatever. But on that morning, he was heading out to photograph, and I said I would come with him. So it's about a hour's drive or so. We came out and it was all cloudy, and I said, Chuck, it's cloudy, you're not going to get anything. And he said, oh, you drive for 30 minutes and the weather changes completely. So let's zoom in here on this. This was a pretty ambitious piece for me at the time. I think I shot 3 whole rolls of film to do it. And throwing it down tonight, one of the things that I did that I found to be fun was his truck, which I kind of changed the angle here, because here the shots are looking straight at the back of the truck, but here obviously I'd stepped to the side and angled it. I kind of like the different planes, breaking it up. He's down here, and again, I've always loved, you know, hand gestures, so he's recording data as he goes, doing his photography. And there's my old photo bag, which Jeff O'Connell has these days, and I left in this other car, which I debated whether or not to put it in or not. There was a whole segment of the McDonald's that would have been up here in this blank space, but it was just noise that was distracting. So I've learned it's difficult for me to leave parts out. There was also a part over to this side that would have been just a parking lot with a truck in it. Very uninteresting. So I would say this piece is about 80% put together. I've just laid it out on the foam core, and I had to actually tape 2 pieces together because this piece is so large, and was even looking at buying a 8-foot table. But I kind of like all the number of feet going on here. It just indicates a lot of activity, a lot of more hand gestures as he's working his tripod, looking into the camera. And there's some really nice telephoto shots out over here where it's just the camera, his hands doing something on it. It's kind of hard to tell here, but the background is all blurred out, one pointing up at the sun. And finally, the piece that what he's holding up here is an arc welder's mask glass, which is rated dark enough to actually look at the sun. And he gave me one, and I have it somewhere still. And when the annular eclipse came to Cleveland, I used it to look at the annular eclipse safely. And this piece is missing one photograph, which I have somewhere, and I will find it eventually. He gave me one of his pictures from this outing, and it's a picture of the sun with a tiny slice taken out of it by the moon, and that will go in the upper corner there if and when I ever assemble this piece. So I don't have the date, but we can look it up. It was a partial eclipse that passed through western Ohio, probably around 1993.